Six cultural dimensions of Czech Republic. For the first one, we have power distance of a score of 57, which means that people is born into a hierarchy and people has learned that some people are more valued and some people is less valued than others. For the second category, we have individualism, that has a score of 58. That means that people is more likely to think about themselves and their family and relatives, but not everyone else they don't really know. And for the third category, we have masculinity. That has a score of 57. That means that people is more competitive and thinking about what they can do to make the greatest achievement, to be more acknowledged, and has a very competitive mindset. For uncertain avoidance, we have a score of 74, which means that people is more likely to accept other ideas and cultural differences they encounter in Czech Republic. And long-term orientation, the fifth category, has a score of 70, which means that people in Czech Republic is very long-term orientated. They want to think about the future and work ahead for the current persons they are in. And indulgence, they have a score of 29, which means that people is more restraining and hiding their own feelings.
Our first real encounter with English in Prague was actually when we boarded the public transportation system. The system in Prague primarily uses trams instead of buses, though they do exist also. When we entered the tram, we found stations or screens inside of the trams in which we had to buy our tickets. The screens were by default in Czech, but there is an option to switch it to English, and it was here that we first found English used in Prague. And this is actually one of the few times that we do see English written down, because afterwards, though there was a lot of people speaking English, primarily in the shops also, there was very little written English. This can be seen, for example, when we ate ice cream, but also when we visited our museum and the Charles Bridge. There was little written English in the museum and in the ice cream shop, but the experience at both of the sites spoke English. And like the tram system, Charles Bridge was the only real place where we saw English written, because on the Charles Bridge, there was a lot of street services that you could pay for, and then would of course make sense to know what you are paying for, as the person that are servicing you a lot of the time would already be serving someone else. And that would make sense, as the Charles Bridge is a very touristy location.
Another place where English can be seen used is in the fast food restaurants, such as Burger King, where both the signage and menus were written in English, to even the interactions with the staff.
Yeah, I remember that.
This can be summed up to Prague being popular among international tourists, and Burger King being a multinational fast food chain, making English a crucial tool for communication, so that both the